Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about how Tony should have been revealed as a Skrull and not Rhodey. So let's just put it like this. Phase 4, which I believe is the current phase, sucks. It sucks for a variety of reasons. One, every show and movie that's coming out, well, I take this back, every show that's coming out isn't really pushing that needle forward as to what's going to happen next in phase 5 and the big like Avenger level movie type thing. The movies are kinda doing it, not really. Probably Ant-Man was the closest one to do that, because of course Avengers Kang Dynasty is coming out and he was the major baddie in the Ant-Man 3 movie. But suffice it to say, the Disney Plus shows have been somewhat of a letdown, actually a major letdown. They're no longer focusing on the heroes and what makes them heroes and what's that next Avenger level threat. Is more personal, stuff that happens, whether you're that of a man who's about to retire, a woman who wants like a family, what's it like to be a woman, what's it like to be a Muslim person in America. And with Echo, well, it's like, I don't know what that's going to be about, but it says she's going to go back to her Native American roots and stuff like that, so I'm assuming it's going to be something like that. And so with this new Skrull like invasion show, which is the point of the whole this video and stuff, it's like it was a major letdown. And it was not interesting, it was not mysterious, it was not suspenseful, and I could care less about the Skrull. The Skrull was just pointless in having them in the MCU. Kevin Feige has fumbled. They should have stayed to the Chitauri. The original Marvel movies revolved around the Ultimate comic books. The Chitauri are like the equivalent of the Skrulls in the Ultimate comic books. So they should have went with them, but they got rid of the Chitauri and then they decided to bring in the Skrulls. And I've been saying this over and over when I talk about the Skrulls. I could care less about them being upset Fury has not found them a home. And that whole storyline was just stupid and pointless. All of phase 4 has been stupid. What exactly really is phase 4 about other than multiverse shenanigans, which they have not done very well? And Kevin Feige went from being "give me your money" Feige to he'll just take people's money and give them great products, to now he is now on the board of Idiocracy and everything. Feige has lost it and he is no longer producing good material and stuff. Where I appreciate Secret Invasion being more serious and not that many jokes and this and that thing, God, you gotta admit it was boring, stale, and dry. And there wasn't nothing to really get you hyped for. There were no real huge superheroes, period, in this whole thing. And Samuel L. Jackson is a big name, and the other stars are big in their own right, but we wanted to see Skrulls take over superheroes. There's only one superhero that was taken over, and that was Rhodey. And I've never looked at Rhodey as being his own superhero guy. I always saw him as Iron Man 2.0 or Iron Man's sidekick, whether it's the cartoons or the movies. I've always looked at him like that. Same with Bucky. I don't see Bucky being his own hero. Bucky is literally just like a sidekick. And when it comes to Falcon for the movies, they really kind of made him Captain's second sidekick, but he's starting to be his own hero now. And Don Cheadle, great actor and everything, but War Machine is just kind of boring and stuff. And the biggest surprise with the whole Rhodey being a Skrull was, when the heck was he taken? It's been a whole lot of debate. Some feel it's Civil War, some feel it's Endgame, some feel it's the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Personally, I think it's Civil War. But they've never truly let nobody know. It's just that hospital gown and that's it. And we saw him wear that when he went into surgery or rehab 1 in Civil War. But you want to know what would have got people cranked for Secret Invasion? So let's fix this whole thing, which is something I haven't done in a while. I think the last one I did was I Know What You Did Last Summer, the television series. Now, I said this back a long time ago, over a decade ago. It should have been Iron Man to be replaced by a Skrull. Well, technically, the Chitauri at that time. Remember the first Avengers movie when he went up into that portal, dropped the nuke on them and everything? He came crashing back down. Right then and there, I've told myself it would have been extremely funny if he would have been a Chitauri shapeshifter and everything. But if he were to be a Chitauri, then that would eliminate all the good and bad stuff he did since the first Avenger movie. So that's a little redundant. But better yet, make it Endgame. Endgame should have ended like this. Iron Man / Tony make his big sacrifice. He gets rid of all the villains. And then we get to the funeral scene. During the funeral scene, we see everybody pay their respects. The coffin is closed. And then, it drifts down, I think the river, I think it is, or something like that. I can't really remember. It's been a long time since I saw it. Then, what they should have done was this. Let us see inside the coffin. There's nobody inside. At the end credits, we should have seen Nick Fury, Maria Hill, and some other S.H.I.E.L.D. people hanging over the body of a dead Skrull. And it would have revealed that Tony was a Skrull to begin with at some point in time. So question is, when exactly did he get replaced? Well, this is the perfect setup. At the end of Infinity War, when everybody got blimped and everything, or Thanos snapped or whatever you call it, he was only there with Nebula. At some point in time, both him and Nebula should have been taken by the Skrulls and taken who knows where, maybe somewhere in outer space. Why not? And so the Tony and Nebula that came back to Earth, and better yet, forget Nebula, because she has electronic stuff and she has to be able to connect to her former self in the past. So let it just be Tony. Tony got taken at some point in time. Maybe he didn't want to hang out with Nebula. He got taken and then bam, he got switched. At the end of Infinity War, now remember what movie came after that? Captain Marvel. That set up the whole Skrull thing. And so her and Fury was supposed to find them a home. And so this would have been perfect. A perfect, beautiful setup and everything. And then, of course, we had Endgame. Tony dies. It turns out to be a Skrull. Then, of course, when do we get to see Skrulls next? In the stupid second Spider-Man movie, where it turns out Maria Hill and that of Nick Fury are really Skrulls because they're off doing other stuff. And this at time, the Skrull are still good, sipping on soda and all that other crap, which I still think is the dumbest thing ever. They should never have the Skrull in that movie. But every movie in every Disney Plus series after that should have had a Skrull reveal, because the Skrulls should have been the next phase. And the Skrulls, whoever they replaced, needed to be a big name in every movie and every Disney Plus show following. This would have been a great, beautiful setup for Secret Invasion, because now we've had multiple television series, a couple of movies, and somebody or like or has some type of significance would have been revealed to be that of a Skrull. And this would have made Secret Invasion, even if they would have had it on a small budget that they did, it would have made it more interesting and stuff. And Secret Invasion would not have fumbled, making it one of the lowest rated finales of all time. And one of the least watched series and stuff, next to Miss Marvel. And that is how they should have done it. It should have started with Iron Man / Tony. It should have been building itself up to this big grand something or another. And then they get rid of that and then they can handle the Kang stuff, But no, Kevin Feige has lost his stinking mind. Kevin Feige can no longer give us what we need and stuff from the MCU. He needs to get back on track so he can be the man so we can give him our money again. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.